Hello everyone, this is Sam Wong from Finance Analytics Services Team LLC again. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, been a while since I talked to you because I have been pretty busy with some other stuff. But for those of you who follow my video, which actually have bought, let's say, HYLN, robots, PayPal at the given price that I have recommended, you should except probably PayPal, the other two, you should have get a pretty good return. HLN has turned around from 280 suggested price. We actually dropped it to even lower than that. Bounced back to $4. So if you calculate the returns close to 40%, and then robots at the low end at 21, which I suggested to buy at 25, you kind of hit it to $36, so that about 30% return in less than 2 weeks. I'm still recommended the CCL Cruise, and they reporting pretty strong, solid earnings, so things were rebounding because of that. But they actually, if you look at 52-week highs from a $23 drop out order to pandemic period, which is about close to $9, a little higher than that, and now it bounced back over $10. So I'm still optimistic about Cruise, United Airlines, which is from $52 dropping back to $38 at this level, which actually hit even lower than that. Ultimately, with the rise and surge of the oil prices with aviation, recall it's also increased the cost of the airline, but at the same time, you look at the capacity increase and also the plane ticket prices surging. You're really recovering, offsetting this higher oil price and really driving, better than forecast profitability for airline. At least I believe, if you look at the, working out from the pandemic, and or at least people don't worry about it, you will continue to be a rise trend. The bond index market closed the week at about 30, which is better. And Dow Jones Industrial Average actually lifted 5.4% last week stock market trading. S&P 500 index gained 6.5%, and Nasdaq even surged 7.5%. And the futures market, you're looking at it, before the Asian market opened, it was negative. Now it's at the positive territory in the U.S. futures. You also can see that I'm actually demonstrating 1 month trend instead. So of course, if you look at 5 days, it will be a way up. Monday, Tuesday were up, then Wednesday when Powell came out talking about the inflation possibility and raise of interest rate 0.75%, and the outlook of what he think possibly by end of the year, and inflation whether really at the peak or showing sign of slowing down. The market then we added possibly, so this actually have a concern to flip back. But then you after the investor were digesting information, looking at it, things were actually probably not recession fear were kind of fake at the moment. So the price are actually rebounding. And on Friday, given there were a couple of stock reporting pretty good earnings, as well as the rumor about U.S. maybe having trading agreement again and discussing tariffs talk with China, which really is a really good opportunity to really control inflation. For those who have followed my video, knowing that I always thinking that the world need to work collaboratively to manage into the pandemic, COVID-19, as well as the economic expansion rather than recessions driven up because of slow demand and not able to go out, due to pandemic. So with that, also another big driver next week or 2 weeks for now will be another quarterly earning, which hopefully a lot of large corporations will continue to be very resilient, reporting a very strong revenue number if the profitability was lower than expected, which means that the economy is not suggesting slowing down but continue to grow, even though inflation hopefully also indicating a little bit of cool down on that area. So the market overall last week was pretty good, even though, again, if you look at the technical perspective, Dow Jones Industrial Average, I was expected that you're kind of dropping down to a level from 33,500 to 30,000, almost 3,000 points. You're coming back up. You may be, but by July 14, which is the earnings seasons, you may be bouncing back to 33,000. Hopefully, that means another 1,500 points, which is not a lot if you think about it. From a percentage percentage perspective, a lot of people still at a loss, even though if you will go back to 33,000. S&P 500 was also the same. You see a similar trend that kind of dragging down to lower the 4,000 points and really can come back to 10% rebound back on the index perspective. If that's the case, hopefully some of the individual stock, particularly growth stock, will show sign of relief with the inflation kind of slowing down. The projection of the borrowing rate will also be around, as kind of expected from a corporation perspective. Then, hopefully recession will be kind of away from where we expect it to be, and you will actually have some bounce back, and the market will continue to pick up again. And with with global good news that coming around, there will be a lot of announcement upcoming week. So, for example, China will announce the PMI. So hopefully, suggesting that even though the slowdown of due to the Shanghai shutdown of pandemic, it actually showing sign of relief, and also continually potential economic stimulus policy from China will driving things to be better and higher, and that keeps stimulating the demand and hope and confident about the global economic growth. That will actually drive the U.S. market going up as well. Also, Nike will be reporting earnings. They're just showing you the chart. It's very difficult for me to tell you what my projection is, but definitely you can see that Nike dropped it from a high endpoint 180 down to 100, lower than 110. When a couple of years ago, we're asking the stock to be buyers would be around $105 level. If you guys can go back to listen to my video, and it was kind of driving through the momentum to $145. At that point, it's kind of have some resistance, and then you have to wait for quite a while and to hit to the level where it was, which $175. And the driver was that really saying the strong demand of the Chinese market. So you really substitute whether this quarter earning, whether the Chinese market continue to grow despite a pandemic, which is kind of hard to tell because some people do online purchases, and which actually can still stimulating the growth of Nike and the demand in Chinese market. The other one is Bed Bath and Beyond. During pandemic, there was some good news driving it, to make the stock go up to $30, and now you fade it back to really below $10, where it was kind of normalized at the point before those good announcements came out. So this stock is also a good indicator about retail demand. So we was kind of expected to see how things were going on that, but again, I just want to show the chart that I don't have any inside information to tell you whether they will hit the estimate and how the outlook going to grow. But if you think about this stock, if you really dropped to $5, Bed Bath and Beyond, which have been lasted for so long in the company history of running the business, it's probably a good stock to buy. But just like similar to other retail stock right now, where you're facing the inflation and profitability decrease due to a higher cost, you may have to take a while before the stock take up again. So just something to bear in mind. And really on the next week, there will be, this coming will be a lot of announcement, like core durable goods orders, pending home sales. We kind of expect it to be lower, but home sales in May was still pretty strong. Jump almost 11% from a month prior. According to data on Friday from the Commerce Department that overshot economist forecast. Inflation, of course, is no surprise, and consumer price index have been 4-decade high of 8.6% in the year to May, whereas the Fed's target 2%, which is way away from there, which is why, again, Powell was very consistent, very argument about right now is to control inflation is the key why you're raising the interest rate, and to avoid the slowing down the demand will be avoiding the recession. The only difference this time was just, in the past was that normally when the economy go staying the stagflation, inflation, things were not going well, there will not be a lack of worker, but right now it's really the unemployment rate still remains very low. We have to see this coming Thursday and Friday how the number projected, and also not just U.S. but also Germany also will have unemployment announcement, and Canada also talk about the GDP to see how things go, as well as Japan where we talk about the nominal manufacturing index. So hopefully with the momentum and with the good news and projection and things to talk about, things will continue to go up. Right now, currently in the Hang Seng Index, which is Hong Kong stock market, and it's going well because in July 1st there will be new presidential with the cabinet going to be vote to be in office. So Jiang Zemin chairman from China may come to Hong Kong as well. We don't know yet at this point, but definitely these good news and also the strong report earnings from the giant high-tech giant early in 2.5 weeks ago were reporting pretty good, sustaining that despite the pandemic, China economy still continue to grow, but hopefully with summertime coming, like I said in the past, will be slowing down, so there'll be lower cases. It will be have the reopening soon, so that will actually make it Asia economy and commerce flowing better, and also as well as international. And also, with the rumor talking about U.S. maybe in discussion with China about tariffs again, and we establish the relationship, that may be really change things out. That could be a game changer and drive the stock market back up, and also the the inflation going down. Hopefully you like my video, and I was still talking about 6 stocks that I recommend at this point, but lots of time to buy right now, but whatever on the watch list to see the reasonable price range for you to put it into the market. CCL, NCL, Cruise, or United Airlines, UAL. Apple APL, because it have been beat up pretty badly. It was strong, Sandfield strong $152, but at the end it's dropping $132 now. It's around $140 between the two numbers. And then PayPal have been my recommendation, $75 to buy. Friday closing price $77.20. Which is still targeted to be $100. If this momentum will, of high tech stock continue to rise. And the other one is robots. Robots definitely have been very strong from $25, rebound back to $36. And I still believe in that, this stock will hit over $40 if momentum looks good and they report earnings stronger than expected. It may really very well hit back to $70 level, or somebody buy them out eventually. The other one, the other stock that I have is Simpan XPEV, although it's at $33 right now, so I'm not recommending buying, but you should have bought it at about $22, which is just if you look at a little about 7-8 days ago, that's where the price was. And also Tesla, definitely I will buy within the range of 600 and sell around 800. That's my strategy. I will buy sell like that. And then some of the solid stock in the Dow as well will be Bowling BA, which is I'm not recommending buying right now, $141. You bought it, it was really low, like $120. And Disney may still be a good price to buy right now. It's about $100. And they were as high as $175. As far as people who still going to recreation to greet Mickey and Minnie, Donald Duck, I think it will survive. And as long as they come a good movie in summertime again, they will definitely do pretty well in the long run. I think these are good lists to give it to you. Also, the China stock, you probably will consider Alibaba, but Alibaba has gone up quite a bit, and Pinduoduo, PDD, which is for long range from $225 high, drop it back to $25. Now it's at $65. Thank you very much. Have a nice and wonderful week.